All right, let's talk about the happiness circuit. We're gonna dive into 3 simple brain tricks you can start using right now to reset your biology and genuinely feel better. So let's just start with a really big question. What if happiness was never actually about your job or your relationship or how much money you have? What if the control switch has been inside your brain this whole time and you just haven't been shown how to use it yet?
So many of us have been there. You wake up, and on paper, everything's fine, right? Life is good. But you just feel flat, kind of disconnected, empty. It's this super common and really frustrating feeling.
And this isn't just some vague feeling, it's a massive global issue. The World Health Organization estimates that over 280 million people are dealing with depression. That number is just staggering, and it doesn't even begin to count the millions more who are just kind of getting by but not really living.
There's actually a clinical term for this feeling of numbness. It's called anhedonia. It's when the things that used to let you up, your favorite music, a hobby, hanging out with friends, they just don't hit the same way anymore. It's not that you're sad necessarily, you're just flat.
So what do we do when we feel that way?
We try to change things on the outside. We think, I'll chase that promotion, or I'll buy that new thing, or we just scroll and scroll looking for a distraction. And sure, it might work for a minute, but that feeling of emptiness, it always comes back. And that's because we're treating the symptom, not the actual system underneath.
And this brings us to the absolute core idea of today's explainer. Happiness isn't something you just wait for to happen to you, it's a biological state that your brain produces. Think of it like this. You have a chemical cockpit in your head, and it's about time we all learned how to fly it. So, your mood is basically driven by these 4 key chemicals. You've got dopamine for motivation, serotonin for that feeling of calm confidence, oxytocin for connection and trust, and endorphins for that rush of euphoria. The thing is, when these are running low, even a perfect life feels completely hollow. So the real trick is learning how to trigger them ourselves, on demand. Okay, let's get into it. Trick number 1 is what I call the completion loop. This one targets dopamine, and it is by far the fastest way to hack your brain's motivation and reward system. Now, there's a huge myth about dopamine. We all think it's the pleasure chemical, but that's not quite right. It's actually the anticipation and achievement chemical. Your brain releases it when you move toward a goal, and then you achieve it. That feeling of completion, that's the trigger. And here's the brilliant part. Your brain, it doesn't care if you just closed a $1 million deal or if you just made your bed. Seriously, completion is completion. So here's the action plan. First, find a tiny task, a micro task, something that takes less than 2 minutes. Second, do it right now. Feel that little lift? That's a dopamine hit. Now for the real magic, stack 3 of those small wins in a row. You can actually create a noticeable mood shift in under 10 minutes. All right, on to our second trick. This one is called the witness effect. And it's all about generating serotonin, that lovely chemical of calm confidence, but doing it from the inside out. This is such a powerful insight from neuroscience. We're always chasing serotonin from the outside world, right? We want the likes, the comments, the praise. But here's the secret. Your brain can't really tell the difference between someone else praising you and you genuinely recognizing your own good actions. So here's how you do it. Just set a timer for 60 seconds. That's it. In that 1 minute, I want you to recall a quiet win, a moment from the last week where you were proud of how you showed up, especially when nobody was watching. Maybe you were patient when you really wanted to snap, or you helped someone out. Just hold that memory for the full minute. Let your brain really register it. And trust me, this isn't some fluffy self-help trick. It's a direct command to your brain to produce serotonin. And that brings us to our third and final trick, which honestly might be the most important one for all of us living in this modern, kind of isolated world. It's called the oxytocin bridge, and it's all about creating real human connection. So here's the problem we're all facing. Research has found this really direct, kind of scary link. The more time we spend on social media, the lonelier we tend to feel. It's like we're consuming the simulation of connection, but our oxytocin system, our connection chemical, it knows the difference. It knows it's not the real thing. So to get that real oxytocin flowing, you have to cross a bridge. You have to go from being a passive consumer of content to being an active giver of connection. You have to create a moment of genuine human warmth. So here's the action. Just send one person a real message. Not a meme, not a reply to a story.
Make it personal. Just a quick note saying, "Hey, was just thinking about you." And the most amazing part? You trigger oxytocin in your own brain the moment you hit send. The act of giving is the reward. So, here's the bottom line. Your brain isn't broken. It's probably just chemically drained. Think about it. We've become so efficient that we've engineered out the very things that used to keep us balanced, like real physical laughter, which researchers at Oxford found triggers endorphins just like light exercise. We've replaced that with being productive. But the good news is, you have the controls. You can start producing your own happiness. So let's just quickly recap the tools we've talked about. You've got the completion loop for a quick hit of dopamine. You have the witness effect to build that internal confidence with serotonin. And you have the oxytocin bridge to create real, meaningful connection. If you take away just one thing from all of this, please let it be this. You can stop waiting to feel better and start giving your brain the biological ingredients it needs to thrive. Happiness is a production, not a lottery ticket. So I'll leave you with one final thought and a little bit of a challenge. Which of these 3 tricks are you going to try first? And don't wait. How you spend the next few minutes can literally determine your chemical baseline for the rest of the day. You've got the power to change it.